Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Detroit Lions. The punter, Jack Fox, has us ready to go, and we are underway here at Ford Field. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Already here, they'll audible to something else. Throwing to start the drive. Green. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Second and 5. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Intercepted. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Made the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Second and 10. Now gone. And that'll be incomplete. Trying to find Jamison Williams. And it's 3rd down.
It was covered by Caden Ellis.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Goff now looking to throw. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here we go on 4th. Gone. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Lions' 19-yard line.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Green. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Looking to throw. Green going for it all. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave, 29 yards. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they...
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7.
The game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
He's got one touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Come on. 60 license.
Operating from the gun. Green. Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
An audible here to get a new look.
It's now 4th down.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. Back to throw. Green. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
And now they'll shift things around. Back to the ground, Achane.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 14-7.
Lions 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 102 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Goff now looks to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And they get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Back to throw. Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And they can't bring him down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Quick toss by Goff is complete.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Sam Laporta, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. The point after is good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Operating from the gun, Green. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Intercepted. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
132 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. 2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll try the air now with Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 43 yards. And the Lions have moved out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Now as they line up and kick this one away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're inside. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Green. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Back to throw. Green.
He lets it go deep for Olave.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
Powering his way forward. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
First down pass. Intercepted. The Lions take over 1st and 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Back at the 16-yard line.
Goff going to shift him around.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal.
This a 33-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good.
And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Looking to throw. Green. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
Positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
And now an audible here into something else.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And this offense has converted twice already here in this first half on 4th down conversions. And here we go again. They'll try and throw for it here. Here's a diving catch right side. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Play is a turnover on down.
The final shot before break here. Goff. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Saints are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Hey,
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. Another run for Gibbs here.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
44-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Goff.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
The last thing I want to do is not give Amon-Ra St. Brown his due because he is one of the most consistent receivers in the league, but he's much more than that. Tough, gritty, competitive. His 3rd straight year last year with double-digit touchdowns for his Lions.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Now Goff. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And he's going to be brought down. He needed to get to the 20, but he's a yard or two short. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
2 for 1. 2 for 1. Hey, 76. 76. 12. 4 down.
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Detroit Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Lions are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
The kick is good.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
Back to throw. Green.
That's completed right side to Palmer. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
This quarterback now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll look to throw again. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Green.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
They're going to try and throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
On the give, here's Gibbs.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs
with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 24.
Saints 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete. But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit.
Back to throw. Green. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Lions are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Intercepted. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jameson Williams, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Saints 14. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll pitch it out to Gibbs here. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they get it going today.
195 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
A gain of 1.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now they'll change things up.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again.
Michael Williams
in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now Green from the gun on 3rd down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Palmer going in motion right.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, there he goes, right side.
He may go.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Point after here coming up. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And now their hill to climb has gotten taller. They had the safety last time they had the football. That led to the touchdown a moment ago. So that deficit going in the wrong direction as they try to right the ship here. 1st and 10.
Flushed out right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Looking to throw. Green. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
It's 2nd down.
Back to throw. Green. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. And this offense on 3rd down today, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
This offense has gone for it 5 times already. They're now going to go for a 6th 4th down try. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. The past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 to 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means it really counted.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
They'll run with Gibbs. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Gibbs is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This to Laporta, right side.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
The kicker on for the point after.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this